In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use Google Opal AI as a complete beginner, step by step. We'll break everything down into simple, easy to follow steps so you can start building AI-powered mini apps and workflows without needing any coding experience. Here's what you can expect from this video. First, we'll sign into Google Opal AI, explore the dashboard, and get familiar with the interface. Next, we'll create our first AI app from scratch using a simple prompt and learn how Opal automatically generates workflows for us. Then, we'll explore the workflow editor, customize nodes, choose AI models, and understand how each step of the app works. After that, we'll run our app, test it with real prompts, and see how Opal generates content and outputs automatically. And finally, we'll learn how to share apps, use existing templates, remix workflows, and understand some of the current limitations of the platform. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is open Google Opal AI in your browser. At the time of recording, Opal is an experimental platform from Google Labs that allows users to create AI-powered applications simply by describing what they want in natural language. Instead of manually building complicated workflows or writing code, Opal can generate much of the process for you automatically. Once you arrive on the homepage, take a moment to explore what's available. You'll find information about the platform and examples of what it can do. The goal of Opal is to make AI application development accessible to everyone, even if you've never built an app before. When you're ready, click the Sign In button in the top right corner. Choose your Google account and continue through the authorization process. You'll be asked to grant permissions so Opal can function properly with your account. After completing the sign-in process, you'll be taken to the main dashboard. If this is your first time using Opal, your dashboard will likely be empty. As you create apps, they'll appear here for easy access later. You'll also notice a gallery section. This contains apps and workflows created by the Opal team. These examples are useful because they show what's possible with the platform and can save you time if you want to build something similar. Let's take a quick look at one of these examples. Open any app from the gallery and you'll see a visual workflow made up of connected nodes. Each node represents a specific action or task. Together, these nodes create the complete workflow that powers the application. You can click on different nodes to inspect their settings and better understand how the workflow functions. This is a great way to learn because you can study how successful apps are structured before building your own. For now, let's return to the dashboard and create a project from scratch. Click Create New. You'll now enter the workflow editor, which is where most of your work will happen. At the bottom of the screen, you'll notice a prompt box. This is one of the most important parts of Opal. Instead of manually creating every workflow step yourself, you can simply describe what you want the application to do. Think of it as giving instructions to an AI developer. For this example, let's build a simple blog generation tool. We'll enter a prompt describing the app we want to create. Something like, create an app that takes the topic as input, writes a professional blog, and generates a matching promotional image for the product. After entering the prompt, click the Go button. You can also use the microphone icon if you'd rather speak your instructions instead of typing them. Now, give Opal a few moments to process your request. Once the generation is complete, you'll see something impressive happen. The workflow is automatically created for you. On the main canvas, you'll notice multiple connected nodes. Each node represents a different stage of the application. On the right side, you'll see a preview panel where you can test and interact with the finished app. This is one of Opal's most powerful features. Instead of spending hours building workflows manually, you can start with a simple description and let AI generate the initial structure. Now let's examine the workflow more closely. The first node might be a topic input node. This is where users will enter the topic they want the application to work with. Click on the node and you'll see additional information appear on the right side of the editor. Each node contains settings that determine how that step behaves. You can review these settings and customize them whenever necessary. Next, you'll typically find a content generation node. This node is responsible for creating the actual blog post. When you open it, you'll notice a prompt that instructs the AI on how to write the article. You can modify this prompt at any time to change the style, tone, or structure of the generated content. Another useful feature is model selection. Many nodes allow you to choose which AI model will perform the task. Depending on what's available, you may be able to switch between different models to achieve different results. This gives you more control over quality, speed, and output style. Moving further through the workflow, you'll likely see an image generation node. This step creates a banner image that matches the blog content. Just like the text generation node, you can review the settings and choose different options depending on your need. The final stage is usually an output node. This determines how the content is presented to the user. For example, you may choose a web page output that automatically formats the article into a clean, readable layout. You can often customize the appearance of these outputs as well. Another area worth exploring is the theme section. Themes control the visual appearance of your application. You can describe a style you want, upload your own assets, or let AI generate a design automatically. This makes it easy to create apps that feel more polished and professional without spending time on design work. You can also rename your app at any time. Choose a name that clearly describes its purpose and optionally add a short description to help users understand what it does. Now that our app is configured, let's test it. Open the preview section and click Start. You'll be presented with the user interface generated by Opal. For our example, there's a field asking for a blog topic. Enter a topic you'd like the app to write about. You can type manually, upload supporting files if the workflow allows it, or even use voice input depending on the app design. Once you've entered your topic, click Go. Now the workflow begins running. As the workflow executes, you'll see progress indicators showing which steps are currently active. One node might be generating content while another prepares images or formats the final output. The visual workflow makes it easy to understand what's happening behind the scenes. You can actually watch the process move from node to node. This transparency helps beginners understand how AI workflows operate and makes troubleshooting much easier later on. After a short wait, your results will appear. The generated output often looks surprisingly professional. You'll typically receive a well-structured article, supporting content, and any additional assets generated by the workflow. Because many AI models can access current information, outputs may include relevant and up-to-date insights depending on how the workflow is configured. Once you're satisfied with the results, you can share your application with others. At the top of the editor, click Share App. You'll have the option to publish your application and generate a shareable link. Anyone with access to the link can use the app according to the permissions you set. You can control whether users can only use the app or whether they can view and modify it as well. This makes sharing projects with clients, coworkers, or friends very straightforward. Another feature you'll likely use often is Remix. Instead of building every project from scratch, you can start with an existing workflow and customize it. Simply open a template from the gallery and click Remix. The workflow becomes editable, allowing you to adjust prompts, modify nodes, and adapt it for your own use case. This is often the fastest way to build new applications because much of the work has already been done for you. Templates can also serve as learning tools. By studying how they're built, you'll gain a better understanding of workflow design and AI automation concepts. Before we finish, it's important to remember that Opal is still an experimental product. Features, limitations, and capabilities may change over time. Some workflows may not behave perfectly in every situation, and certain tools may still be evolving. And that's how to use Google Opal AI as a complete beginner. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.